This evening we start with weather. Around the region and the state of Montana, people have been seeing hail pieces larger than an inch thick, including yesterday afternoon. Now the storms that also carry that hail also brought lightning and thunder along with them. Today MTN spoke with Ryan Leach, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service, to talk about these storms.
So we've had a lot of thunderstorms move through the area in the last 36 hours. We've had about 300 lightning strikes in the Missoula and Bitterroot Valley in that time period, upwards of 400 in the Flathead and the Mission Valleys. And if you look at southwest Montana from the Big Hole Valley down to Dillon, in that area, we've had 1,100 lightning strikes in the last 36 hours roughly.
Those numbers Leach describes are all cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. Leach has worked with the National Weather Service for more than 10 years, and he says this is a bit higher than we have seen in the recent past. Even though lightning is known to start fires, we may have some room to breathe for now.
This has actually been several weeks now where we've had our dew points, which is the temperature which dew will form, is been in the 40s and the 50-degree range. And that's the longest stretch I can remember in probably the last 10 years that we've had dew points that high, and as a result it's been very humid.
And that moisture will keep plants from drying out, making it less likely for a lightning strike to start a fire. Joining me now is Rob Griggs with weather, and it's just a reminder that it is fire season in Montana, and lightning can create fire.
Sure can, and as he said, we've had a lot of lightning. We've also had a lot of rain. That's been our saving grace, but sooner or later that rain's going to dry up. That's probably not the case tonight, though. Let me show you right now what's happening. We've got yet another shot for strong to severe weather across portions of Montana. Now, most of this will be to the north and to the west of Yellowstone County. For those who are viewing at Q2, you can see already quite a few thunderstorms kicking up in southwest Montana. And at the moment right now we have a severe thunderstorm warning, and this is in effect for portions of Sweetgrass and Park County. This is in effect until 6 o'clock. It's producing 70-mile-an-hour winds and also quarter-size hail. I'm afraid this is going to be probably the story that we're going to see tonight as we watch these different thunderstorms develop and bump up throughout the afternoon, actually the evening hours now into the nighttime hours. This trend is going to continue as long as there's rain. That puts the fire danger off, but for much of Montana, later on next week, things start to dry out and warm up. Could be a different story altogether this time next week. Zoe?
All right, thanks, Rob. The commissioning of a new U.S. warship is a Navy tradition that dates back to 1775. One of the Navy's newest warships, the USS Billings, is set to have its first crew members aboard in a commissioning ceremony coming up in August. And that first crew gets an unofficial designation that comes with some bragging rights. Q2's Mitch Laggy introduces us to two Billings-based companies who are making sure the first USS Billings crew get a plank owner's plaque.
When the USS Billings welcomes its first crew aboard, the sailors will be greeted with a Montana-made reminder of the city the ship is named after. The first crew on a U.S. Navy ship are called plank owners, a title that's not officially recognized by the Navy, but rather issued by crew members of the ship. The USS Billings Commissioning Committee approached Dovetail Designs, a Billings-based woodworking company, to create a unique plaque commemorating the first crew.
We saw this as an opportunity to be of service to Billings and to the United States and to the Navy in dedication of this ship that's named after this city. We immediately went to the shape of Montana. We started different designs. We tried old barnwood and it didn't work. Now we're cutting these into maple.
There were 145 plaques to be made. Months of work went into making them a reality. First, they're mocked up in a computer-assisted design program. Then, it's off to the CNC router to cut out the shape of Montana and the space for the USS Billings commemorative coin. Then, the planks are taken to Engravable's custom laser, where the rest of the design is cut out, including the designation of the ship, the commissioning date, keel-laying date, launching date, and every sailor's name. Engravable's owner, Dennis Crowder, has worked on other projects for the military.
And I like to help out in different communities. It gives me a warm fuzzy. A few years ago, I did one for Columbus. We did stainless steel plates, and major expensive, but major rewards. It was for the soldiers in Stillwater County.
After the plaques are done being engraved, they're back to Dovetail for some sanding, clear coat, and a glaze. From start to finish, these plaques were made with the heart and soul of the Magic City.
To be a part of an effort is to be connected to this community. It is to be connected to this ship, and it is connected to the U.S. Navy.
In Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
Thank you, Mitch. And he says the sailors will receive those plaques at the USS Billings commissioning ceremony scheduled for August 3rd in Key West, Florida, while Q2 will have coverage. The region's largest arts and crafts festival featuring some of the best artisans, craftspeople, and entertainers in the area. The 41st annual summer fair wrapped up in Billings this afternoon after some storms on Saturday made for some changes today.
In living rooms on planets wide and planets far. Oh, and at least the ratings will be
Hayden Duncan leading off the music performances for Sunday after being rained out yesterday. And because some of the artists left because of the weather, the Yellowstone Art Museum made today free admission day. Now, the Rimrock Mall is a new venue for Summer Fair, and it's a chance to learn and understand the ins and outs of art.
Anything that makes someone smile, there's usually some artist or art form that part of that process.
It's one of the first longest running arts and crafts festival in this region. And you know, one of the things we did about moving it here was we're trying to mix it up. We're trying to bring in new artists.
It's probably not their ideal location, but a lot of the vendors I've talked to are actually up in sales or where they were last year. So for them, they sort of joke around and say it's a double-edged sword because, yeah, they would like a different venue, but they're happy with their money.
Now, Brian says a museum committee will look at this year's event and make a decision on where to hold Summer Fair in 2020. Well, stay with us. More to come on the 5:30 news. After the break, we head to Great Falls for the Mission over Maelstrom open house. And later in sports, how does one of the best distance runners in the country wind down by coming home to work for her world-renowned family?